Hot Tub Time Machine. It's a 2010 comedy film that I, ironically, just got done watching for the very first time. Which I guess is a little weird because not only has it been out for a few years, but I've owned this movie on DVD for the longest time. And for some reason I never had the time to get to it. But since the sequel is coming out, I thought it made perfect sense for me to finally sit down and watch this. So let's talk about it. It's directed by Steve Pink, and the plot is we meet Adam, who is played by John Cusack. And Adam is a guy who he isn't too happy with his life. I mean, you could see his girlfriend has just broken up with him. His nephew, Jacob, played by Clark Duke, is living with him. With his two best friends, he doesn't really want to hang out with them. He doesn't take their phone call because he's not happy with how his life has turned out. Until Lou, played by Rob Corddry, looks like he tried to kill himself. I mean, he says he didn't, but it just doesn't look too good. So they all decide to go on a weekend trip with the boys to hang out at a cabin. And what do you know? There happens to be a hot tub at this cabin. They use it, and it looks like they have one of the best nights of their life until when they wake up, it's not 2010 anymore. No, it's 1986. Yeah, so the rest of the movie, they're just trying to figure out, all right, how can we get back? But not only that, they're also debating on whether they should take advantage of this kind of second chance and fix all of the wrongs that they've done in their life. Now, what I thought of Hot Tub Time Machine was, I liked the movie. I did. I can't say like I loved it or I thought it was the funniest movie ever. I can't really say that. It did take maybe a little while for me to get into it. I thought at first the jokes weren't really making me laugh all that much. It wasn't really until when they get in the time machine and they're back in time and the build-up of them slowly realizing that things are off. The scene where they're looking at everyone in this place and one person has a Jerry curl. Everyone else is like their wardrobe is completely out from the 80s. One person is rocking a cassette tape and they're like, okay, what the fuck? And the one moment when Craig Robinson goes up to the one girl and says, alright, what color is Michael Jackson? And she says black. And he freaks the fuck out. Like, that's proof enough to know that this shit ain't real. Which that got me laughing pretty well. And Rob Corddry, you know, I see him everywhere. He's in all of these comedy movies as like the sidekick or the asshole best friend, and he's no different here. He is all those things. I thought one subplot with him was kind of interesting. The fact that he is a dick to his friends or acts the way that he does. His life, he's not happy with his life, is because you see, when he was younger, he always got beat up by this one particular guy, played by Sebastian Stan, who, if you don't know who he is by name, Bucky, who would later on become the Winter Soldier in the Captain America movies. I saw him and I said, holy crap, that's Bucky. That's awesome. And he is convinced that there's something up with these guys, especially when he steals their backpack and finds all their cell phones and their soda cans that's from the future, and it's all weird to them. Crispin Glover as one of he works at the hotel. He brings them their bags. He's missing an arm, which is kind of funny because the running ongoing joke with him is that you're waiting for his arm to get cut off. And every time it looks like it's about to happen, oh, no, it doesn't happen. And I was more interested that this is a movie that's about time travel, and Crispin Glover is in it. Here's a guy who did the first Back to the Future movie, never came back for the sequels, but he was willing to do Hot Tub Time Machine. I found that pretty hilarious. And randomly, Chevy Chase is in this movie. I mean, this is a pretty decent cast. Just a bunch of random people showing up. Chevy Chase is the maintenance guy, I guess you could say, of the hot tub. And clearly he knows about it, what's going on. I don't know if he created it, because he keeps like disappearing whenever they look the other way. So, but either way, it was cool to see him in here. Now, I want to mention some of the women in this movie. First of all, you have Jenny, who is John Cusack's old girlfriend, played by Lindsay Fonseca, which, first of all, what a great name. Second of all, she's smoking hot. I mean, I know she was in Kick-Ass. I know she's on the Agent Carter TV show that's on right now. But still, she was smoking hot in this movie. They're debating on whether or not they should do something different because they know how their lives are going to pan out if they do particular things. And at first, they're like, we have to do the same thing that we did because we don't want to mess up the space-time continuum. But then, like John Cusack, for example, he's like, holy crap, I forgot how hot this girl was. Why would I break up with her? So he's kind of milking it and trying to spend as much time with her as he can. I don't blame him. But then you have Lizzie Kaplan as this girl, April, who... her character was a little weird. I mean, I like Lizzie Kaplan a lot. She's awesome, and she's pretty as well. Her character, though, was just so... almost unbelievable, right? I mean, she just... the way how she meets John Cusack, and she's the nicest, coolest girl you've ever met, and she's so, like... she's not putting herself out there, but she's clearly like, hey, I want to hang out. She's there right when everything goes haywire with the Jenny character. She's there at the right moment. She's there to be the perfect girl for John Cusack. It's just, it all seems odd. And there's something with her that you don't know if she's on an up and up because she's lying about certain things, but still she's so cool. I don't know. I couldn't quite put a handle on her character. Now, there were some things, obviously, that I really enjoyed, like, I guess the connection, like, with Back to the Future, just the fact on the culture clashing. And when you take a situation where it's almost like now, compared to the 80s, it makes you miss the 80s. I mean, sure, I wasn't really alive during the 80s. I was born in 88. But I still am aware of a lot of the stuff going on, and seeing this movie, the music, just the various things of like, wow, the 80s were so much better. You know, fuck these cell phones and Twitter and the internet that makes us all act the way that we do. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy that stuff, but it's just like, I don't know, things were just so much more simple back then. Not every joke I thought worked. Some situations I thought were a little forced. Like Rob Corddry, he makes a bet with this guy on the outcome of a game because he knows the future, and everything's going well until something happens. It doesn't work out. So he has to blow Craig Robinson. None of that made me laugh. I thought it was too much. It was like, okay, guys, this is really crass and just not really needed. It was kind of funny when Craig Robinson had this thing about how his wife from the future cheated on him, so he was all messed up by it, and he felt guilty about looking at another girl, even though in this time he's not married. But the moment when he called her and she was 9 years old and he was flipping out about her cheating, like, it was kind of funny, but I don't know. Not every joke, like I said, hit. Either way, I still did enjoy this movie a lot. The actual idea itself, going back to the 80s, I'd be a sucker for that, so obviously I did like it. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you too saw Hot Tub Time Machine. What did you think of it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!